All right, away we go on a Wednesday podcast. We got the rains coming in, but we will try and, keep you occupied for the next 25 or 50 or 40 minutes. Al, what's up, man?
Oh, hi there, Jerry.
I have a question for you.
All righty.
So, and I think you know this better than anybody, but when it's the gym effect, you don't want to do something, but then when you do it, you have just a great time and maybe you can't wait to do it again in the moment.
Yes.
So I had one of those moments yesterday, just from the standpoint of I was flat out exhausted yesterday from the tournament that we ran on Monday. Not great sleep Monday night, short sleep. I had Gio stay at my place because I didn't want him going all the way back to Long Island. So I'll make sure he was settled and whatever. And then I had I was golfing with a friend of mine yesterday, which popped up on my calendar, Monday. I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. Great. It was one of those things where I'm like, do I put it off until Thursday? Because I just was exhausted. But I got to tell you, I didn't. I powered through. And as soon as I got there, I started hitting balls. I had just had a blast. I hadn't seen him in a while. And it made me wonder, where does that mentality come from? The resistance to do things, even though you're either going to have a great time or B, you're going to feel better in the case of the gym. I call that the gym effect. You walk out feeling like, I can't wait to lift again tomorrow. But yet it takes that kick in the ass to go. Where does that come from?
Yeah, I don't know, because it's not from experience, because the experience would tell us that if you go out and do it, you'll get great results. They always say the worst part of the day is walking into the gym and the best part is walking out.
That's true.
Because when you walk out, you're like, look what I just accomplished.
Right. And it's not because you're done and you're excited to get out of there. It's because you feel great.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a combo. I think you also feel like, okay, I was supposed to go to the gym today, and I went to the gym and I accomplished this. But you're right. You feel, Gina sometimes will even say, oh, you're in a good mood. And it'll be just from I did push-ups in my kitchen.
Yeah, it gets the blood flowing.
Yeah, it gets the blood flowing. But I will resist that. I resist the simplest things that make me feel better when it's done. Laundry. There is nothing simpler than throwing laundry in the thing.
It ain't 1810.
No. Maybe folding it is
that's a pain in the ass,
right.
But yeah.
But I will resist doing that for it takes zero time
and not much effort.
And when you're done, you go, wow. When you look at an empty laundry basket, you're like, oh, look at this.
Yeah.
Did this laundry.
You're set for the next couple of days, next few days, next week, whatever it is.
I'll even count laundry. If someone says, oh, what have you been doing this afternoon? I'm like, oh, I just doing a bunch of laundry. What does that mean?
Right. You're not doing anything, actually. The machine is doing the laundry. I mean, I don't know about you when you grew up, but when I was a kid in the summertime, we still, my mom still would hang the laundry outside with the bugs. And I think about it now, what did we do?
Yeah.
And that's not, at least by me, that's not a thing anymore, but it was growing up.
Yeah. We all had clotheslines.
You're not running the dryer in the summer. Yeah. Electricity costs money. Now it's turn the AC down to 62.
Not only would you be hanging, you're right, the bugs are out there. We would play wiffle ball, and I know we were hitting balls into the laundry, the stuff hanging on the line.
And then as soon as you thought they were dry, whether it was dirty or not, you brought them in, you folded them, you put them in the drawers.
Right, you put the filthy clothespins on it.
That's right. The clothespins that are out there in the weather.
You'll even see sometimes in really old, if somebody's been living in a house for so many years that they haven't updated things, there's occasionally the clothesline in the back still where it looks like almost like a giant beach umbrella, but instead of the material for the umbrella, it's all the lines, and they were hanging stuff that way.
I know what you're talking
if you
about.
had a limited space and didn't, you ever see the old buildings, even in Jersey City or something, where they'd have a clothesline 10 floors up?
Yep, I have.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Why don't we do that anymore?
I don't know. I really don't know. Those are some of the things from the 80s that I remember growing up that as an adult, really before that, I know when we moved out of the house that I grew up in into the next house, that was done.
So you don't think, did you ever, for you and your wife as a family, ever hang clothes on a clothesline?
Never once.
Yeah.
No, always the dryer.
Yeah, we need to bring that back. Well, I imagine, wouldn't you imagine, the clothing is stiff when it dries that way?
Yeah, and I would think it smells like outside.
Yeah.
Everything you just cleaned, it's not going to have that fresh scent anymore. And when you put it on, it's going to not feel as soft and clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I want to do it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, in relation to your first question, why do we resist things when we know from history after we do them we'll be happy? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a very strange one.
Or vice versa, why do we know in some cases that something we might eat is going to make us feel like crap,
Yeah,
yet because I guess it's because we're chemically addicted to it and our mind is tricking us, we will eat that crap food and in the moment we love it. But we know in 20 minutes you're going to feel terrible. And yet
yeah.
we will do it.
Or if you know, like I know for me, if I go out and I have 2 beers,
Mhm.
I'm in a good spot.
Yeah. Is
But
that why you
after
drank 2 beers this morning before the show?
just to relax.
Right.
But after 2 beers, you think, "Well, I'll have another one."
Right. Why not stop at your 2?
Right,
I don't know.
because you know going in that if you have more than 2 beers or more than 3 beers, whatever your thing, you're going to feel terrible the next day, and yet you do it.
I think in that case, the moment gets I think you're having fun. And I think in the moment you think another one, I already feel fine and fun. Like, why would I not have another one?
Like, I don't wanna stop the fun.
Kind of that, yeah, to a certain degree. And I don't know about you, but in my case, I don't do that all that often. I 100% I have a drink usually on if not Friday night, well, Friday I have a drink when I play golf with my kids because to me, there's nothing better than the Friday afternoon golf. It signifies the work week is over and the weekend is here. I'm out there with my kids. I'm having a blast. I have one drink. That's it. Whatever. Saturday night, I have one to make sure I get to sleep because I try to go to bed if we're not out a little earlier on Saturday night just to kind of get ready for Sunday. I hate that I do that, but I do. But in terms of like drinking to what you're talking about, it's rare that I do that. But I do the same thing you do. One more. One
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, I guess one more,
Yeah,
sure.
next thing you had 4, and now I gotta call an Uber.
I would do that too, like, you're right with food, Rob, like, "I'll go out for pizza. I'll have 2 slices." That's very reasonable.
And you end up having 3.
3 or and then so you have 3 slices, then the pie, everyone's done, there's 1 slice left, I'm not gonna throw a
I
slice
know.
out or bring 1 slice home, I'll have a 4th.
I know.
And then you're really like, "Oh, why did I
Yep,
do that?
you overdid it.
Why did I eat that
The ice
thing?"
cream is always like that with me,
Yeah.
something that I have not done much at all this summer, but we've had a couple of times where I'm not hungry and my son will go to Carvel. I'm like, "Yeah, why not? What the hell? I haven't had Carvel all month." And it's like, you eat it, like, "Oh."
What's your Carvel go-to order?
So that would be soft serve chocolate with the fruit mix. With
Fruit mix.
you love it.
In a bowl, like?
Yeah, so they do the soft serve chocolate in a bowl, and then it's a blend of black cherries, pineapples. I'm trying to think. There's one other one in there. I forget what the third one is, but there's 3 different types of fruit
It's
that
real
they
fruit
put.
like that
Oh
they put
yeah,
in
it's so good. That would be, and I always say, well, at least there's fruit in there,
there?
but I love it.
Balancing this out with some nice fruit.
Yeah, I don't do the carvalanches. I used to do shakes all the time. I don't once I learned of the fruit topping. That's usually what I do, but I love chocolate shakes. I love the carvalanches, but I don't do them anymore. The
Hmm.
carvalanches are
I
just
don't even know what that
insane.
is.
So a carvalanche is a crap ton of soft serve ice cream in like a shake cup, and then you pick the candy that you want in
Mm,
the ice cream.
yeah.
They then take, I don't even know how many scoops, or it could be Oreo cookies, however many scoops of the crumbles of the candy or the cookie. And then they have a carvalanche machine where you jam the thing up and it spins.
Well, like
And
the
it
Dairy Queen Blizzard.
that's exactly what it is essentially, but it's called a carvalanche. And it is just insane. It's so good. It's got to be, if you get a medium, I usually get medium when I go to Carvel. Never get the large. I don't get the small either. I would say the medium's got to be 1,000 calories. It has to be.
Yeah. I try to get the small everywhere because even the smalls now are like, I feel like is a good amount.
In some cases, yes, I would agree
Some
with
places,
that.
yeah.
Because everything's oversized.
Yeah.
Way too much.
You get a large somewhere, you're like, oh my gosh,
I
this is like for a crazy person.
The last time I went through a drive-through for fast food was after I got off a plane. I was off the next morning. I think it was Rutgers at Purdue. I don't remember, but it was last season in January, and I wasn't coming in. We landed at like 3 a.m. I didn't eat dinner because I wasn't feeling great. And we got off the plane, and all of a sudden, everything had settled. I was starving. There's a McDonald's near Rutgers that's got a 24-hour drive-through. The people that I always make fun of, I became in that moment. And all I asked for were the two small cheeseburgers. So she's like, "Oh, would you like to make that a combo meal?" I'm like, you know what? Why not? Because what kind of drink? I'm like, a Coke, whatever. I didn't say size. This is 4:00 in the morning or 3:30 in the morning. She gives me the bag and then a gigantic 40-ounce cup of soda. Who drinks this?
Yeah. 40 ounces of
I mean,
Coca-Cola.
32 ounces. It was
Yeah.
huge. The cup was enormous. And I think a lot of people do that, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Suck that right down.
There's another one where I didn't feel great after I ate it.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can't. A big thing of soda,
I know.
a giant thing of soda is trouble.
Well, I didn't drink all the soda, but the burgers and that. What am I doing at 4:00 in the morning?
Man,
Not a great look by me.
That used to be my go-to when I was first starting in radio in Florida, and I would go to work a weekend shift, and I would be the only person at the radio station. And I would stop at McDonald's to get 2 hamburgers and then space it out during my shift. I'd microwave 1 burger.
Smart.
And, I really look forward to it.
2 meals.
Yeah, I was like, get 2 burgers here.
Pretty good.
Jerry, I got a lot of we did a podcast yesterday about millennials and
the finances.
Gen Z versus baby boomers and Generation X, and about the cost of things and the salaries and housing and all that stuff. I got a lot of response from people.
Okay.
I will tell you, a number of people reached out. A man named Patrick. I'm going to go over some of these. Some people wrote to me. This guy says, I'm 37, millennial. Okay. I make about 120 grand a year. My wife as a teacher makes 90K a year.
As a teacher? Wow, that's great.
Okay, so that they're over 200 grand.
That's 210.
210. Yeah. We bought our house in 2022 for $549,000.
Okay.
With a 3% mortgage rate.
Okay.
Today, my house is worth and would cost me $750,000. I don't think we could afford it. I feel like if you're making 200 grand, you could afford a $750,000 house. No?
Depends on what other expenses you have. Are they driving cars that have $700 a month payments? So this is what we were talking about yesterday. Yeah. The choices you make affect other choices. If you're just talking about, in my opinion, if you're just talking about a mortgage and utilities, they can probably afford it at 3% and a decent mortgage rate. Are they driving cars that are paid for? If they all of a sudden have cars, and we've done this before. I mean, a new car, you're really starting at $30,000, right? I mean, maybe there's a couple of cars in the mid-20s, but most cars, new cars, are $30,000 and above. So if you just go on the basis, let's say $36,000 for a new car, I mean, a 5-year, 60 months is going to cost you $750, $800 a month. And if they have 2 of those, that's almost like a mortgage payment from yesteryear.
Yeah, maybe he was also referring when he said the house now is $750. I couldn't afford it today. Maybe $750 plus the 6-7%
maybe
mortgage rate.
The mortgage rates for sure, but I really do believe too, all the additional expenses that they have, that they chose to have, like most people, like myself too, probably prohibits that. But I get it. I get it.
A man named Richard reached out, Jerry. He's a millennial, born in 1989. He says,
born in 89, you said?
89, yeah. He says, I don't blame boomers for the housing crisis. It definitely is a real issue, but the biggest problems are we were all told, don't worry about the cost of college. This was the message when I was in high school. I went to my local university and I still have $60,000 in debt.
Yeah.
Gen Z is being taught more about the cost of college.
Oh, I agree with that because I think Gen Z is now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've certainly had the conversation with my kids from the standpoint of if there's so Matthew right now is in community college. That was on his own doing, not ours. He came to us and asked if we'd be disappointed if he went to community college. Like, let's have a party. No, I'm good.
Right.
You're going to go to community college for 2 years. That's fine.
Yeah.
He's wrapping that up this fall. What I have told him, and I've told my younger son, is I'm not going to pay for you to go to college just to party. If there's something you want to do, and you know that, and there's a specific college that makes sense, and it's going to pay off in the future, we can have the conversation. But if you think you're going to come to me and say, I'd like to go to the University of Texas, why is that? To get a degree. That we're not doing that. I'm not going to spend all the 529 money I've saved. And then, because even with that, I would 100% need student loans on top of that I would help him with. You're talking, it's got to be $65,000, $70,000 a year. The degree to me isn't worth that if you're just getting a general degree. So they're very much aware of, they have to have some sort of focus as to what they want to do.
Yeah. One of the other things this guy writes about, which I have heard about, but I would love to actually research this. He says, let's see. One of our other problems is our corrupt government who has let private equity firms buy houses using cash, such as Vanguard and BlackRock.
I didn't know they did that.
I do own a home, but I will say we randomly got outbid before closing by what seemed like a private equity firm.
Really?
Yeah, I have heard that you hear this like, oh, that these big private equity firms buy up these properties.
Well, for
But
what purpose?
So that they then can become landlords and rent them to people.
Companies like that would want to become landlords?
Well, there's some confusion because this guy says Vanguard and BlackRock. But I think it's, people get confused because there's a company called Blackstone that supposedly does this. People think it's BlackRock and then loop in Vanguard and things like that. I don't know if that's true or not. That's what I'm saying. Like, is there a way to check, like you could find anyone's address on the internet and all this stuff. Is there any way to check like who owns the properties in your town? Like,
I'm pretty sure if you put an address into Zillow, you will get the information.
Yeah, like I wonder, like, would we be able to see that? Like, is
I would think so.
Blackstone,
if it's owned by an LLC or a corporation, I think that would come up. I don't know. I've never heard of this before.
Yeah, I've been hearing this a lot, but again, I don't know if this is true or not.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Maybe that's not true.
Now, is that also a ploy to raise the housing market so that their investments go up?
Maybe.
And we always talk about hedge fund guys and, brokers, insider trading. And I don't know any people that have done that, but we know it exists because people have gone to jail for it. So is this a way around that where you can influence the cost of something as you're investing in something, knowing that the prices are going to go up and you throw all your money at that? There's too many people that make a fortune on things that no one else seems to know about.
Yes. Right. There are think of full neighborhoods relatively near where you live that you're like, oh, that's a really nice part of town, and it's just huge house after huge house. What are all these people doing for a living?
I don't know. The golf course I go to is in a very nice town, and I pass by compounds, not houses.
Yeah.
You're talking, I would think conservatively, 7 to 10 bedroom, whatever you want to call them, homes. And you know what you never see at these homes? People. It's weird.
Yeah.
There's never any activity. You don't see many cars in the drive. You almost wonder, like, who maybe this is the people that I don't know. I don't know where all this wealth comes from. Like, I get it when you got very rich people. I just can't comprehend how many rich people there are.
Yeah, you just go, oh, that person's a lawyer, or that person is a doctor.
Yeah.
You know where that's coming from.
Yeah. The homes you're talking about are $7, $8, $9, $10 million homes.
Freddie checking in here, Jerry. He says the complaint with my generation is that baby boomers bought houses at $10,000 and sold them to us for $1 million.
Well, but people also were making how much money a year? That's not.
He says I looked for a house in Bergen County, New Jersey, and the house was $700,000 and needed a ton of work.
All right. So if I look up,
he also says he's in a community in Florida where there's a ton of entrepreneurs who didn't go to college and legit aren't working, but somehow have a ton of money.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't understand. It says prices have increased, but the salaries haven't equally increased.
Well, that I do agree with that. That is very true.
Yeah.
That is true.
I lost your microphone there.
What do you think? Let's just say 1950. What do you think was the average salary in the U.S.?
In the year 1950?
Yeah.
Damn. I'm going to say the average salary was $20,000.
The average So this is the point. He just talked about buying a house for $10,000, maybe $12,000. And I don't know if this is real, but this is from the census.gov. The average family income in 1950 was $3,300 a year.
Oh.
So if you bought a house for, let's say, $15,000, that was 5 times your salary.
Right.
If you're making $120,000 a year right now, a house 5 times your salary is $600,000. Now, the difference between 3,000 and 13,000 to us doesn't seem like much at all, but I'm sure back then it seemed like a big number. Not
Yes.
quite 120 to 600. I'm not saying that, but it was still 5 times your salary. So I do agree with him that it is more stark now, and the difference of home price and salary seems crazy. We didn't live in 1950. I don't know if I was making $3,000 and needed to spend 15,000 on a house, how comfortable I would have been doing that.
Right.
It's still 5 times what you make.
Yeah. I wonder, I bet you a new car ratio compared to what an average salary was and what a new car costs. I bet you that's way off now too.
Sure. I mean, right now, if you say the average new car is $30,000, and let's say the average salary is $90,000, I think we looked that up. So you're making 3 times what a new car costs. We now know that the average cost of a home in 1950 was $3,300, which, by the way, if you do the math quickly, you realize how much money that is per month?
No.
About $275. Like 200, not even 250 times 10 would be 2,500. And then you're talking about $260 a month was your income.
Oh man, that would be awesome.
All right. So what was the average price of a new car
in 1950?
In 1950, we know that
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say, well, you're telling me a house was only $3,000.
No, your income was $3,300.
Oh, your income.
A house was, it said a house was like 14 and change.
I'm going to say a new car was $5,000.
$1,500. So double, half of what you made. So you can make the case it's worse then than now.
Yeah.
But again, $1,500 to $3,000 doesn't seem like much, but that was your annual salary, $3,000. The cost of a new car on average was $1,510.
I think all the time, anytime I see a celebrity or a sports figure, like let's say I don't know, take somebody like Juan Soto.
Okay,
what's he making a year, Juan Soto?
He got $700 million for, I don't know, 55, 60 million.
Okay, 55. And you might see Juan Soto buys a $15 million mansion, and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But that's a small portion of his salary for 1 year.
Correct.
We're looking at buying stuff that'll
take you 30 years to pay off.
Is a portion of our salary for many years.
Every month for 30 years.
Yeah, and I think about that. I'm like, oh man, imagine buying. That'd be like going. Reports today, Jerry Recco bought a new house for $10,000. Great.
Yeah. Pay it off real quick. Don't have a mortgage. You got to pay your taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so that's an interesting one because we did this comparison that the ratio of the athlete salaries of now to then comparative to the costs of living. In 1950, the athletes didn't make much money compared to the cost of living and the average salary of a citizen.
Yeah.
Now the difference is enormous. It actually wasn't that crazy back then. Now it's stupid.
Yeah, it is stupid.
I mean, you've got star athletes now making, if you figure in the NFL, your star athletes are making, let's just say $30 million a year. How many citizens are making $30 million a year? Your average citizen is making 80 or 90,000 or 70,000, whatever it is, annually. And they're making $30 million in one season. It's bizarre.
And I remember working at the radio station in Tampa, and there was this guy who was in charge of the Buccaneers radio network. That was his job. He was like programmer of the Buccaneers. And I had heard he was making $50,000. I could not imagine
making that kind of money.
Yeah, like what is this guy must just have money falling out of his pants. I remember just thinking like, wow, that guy's making $50,000.
Yeah, that's almost $1,000 a week.
Right. You go, $1,000 a week. That's $52,000 a year.
I know. The money doesn't go as far anymore. And the other thing too, right now, is that the cost of food has gotten out of control. Even cheap food is not cheap. Like, so since my wife had surgery in June. And so since then I've said this before, I've been doing the shopping. I cannot get over what things cost. Like, it just is hard to believe. Like, she say, "Oh, can you just get a case of Propel?" I'm like, "The water?" And she's like, "Yeah, the flavor." I'm like, "Okay." $14 for 12 bottles of water. I'm like, "What? What? Why?" Like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And there I'm the sheep. Oh, 12 bottles of water for $14. Like, I go in, I'm like, I'm going to try and limit this order to like 180. And I do the thing like you used to do at Stop and Shop with the gun. I'm like, wow, I got 4 more aisles to go through at 177. Some crap's got to go. I mean, but it's crazy what stuff costs.
It is.
And that's part of the problem too.
Yeah. No. What do we do, Jerry?
Make more money.
Excellent idea. Make more money to spend more money.
I don't know what to do. Or cut down. It's not always, the answer is not always making more money. The answer could be cutting down expenses.
Cutting down.
Give yourself a raise.
Start watching videos on YouTube about minimalism.
Yeah, it seems not fun.
Yeah, it's somewhat interesting in that it's it feels very organized.
I'm sure it's organized and freeing.
Yeah.
And I would think for a couple of months it might even be invigorating. But it's boring.
Yeah. It does get boring.
Boring.
You got to live, damn it.
Yes.
All right, Jerry, let's do the warm-up show. We'll be back here tomorrow on Thursday at 5 a.m. So